Hey, what's up everybody? Jack of Many Trades back here again with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of deals that are happening right now on some camera equipment, drones, other things that DJI sells. As well, I'm going to be talking about some things that Moment sells, which can really help you guys out as far as improving the quality of your video productions, the quality of your photos. This is basically going to be a pretty comprehensive gift guide for anybody who is interested in starting their own YouTube channel, wants to get some good deals for somebody who loves photography, loves videography, anything like that. This is the video for you. So let's get right into it. So here we are on the Moment website, and we're on the holiday deals section. You can find a link to this site down in the description, just so that way you guys know anything that you do purchase from that link or any of the other links that I have in the description, I will earn a small commission, which will help me out with making more videos for you guys. But with that out of the way, I wanted to show you guys a couple of deals that are happening. Some products I will cut to if I have them in the studio here, but starting off, we have pretty good deal on the Sony a7 III. So this is a full frame mirrorless camera. Obviously you would want to get this for somebody who has already established themselves as a photographer, videographer, or even if this is a gift for yourself. There's a lot of pretty nice deals going on full frame mirrorless cameras that are on Moment's website. Another thing that you guys will definitely like if you're just starting out with a YouTube channel or you want to improve your phone photography, any of these Moment cases for the iPhone 14, they also have cases for iPhone 13, iPhone 12, the Max and Pro versions of each of those. These are really great cases, pretty drop resistant. As well, these cases allow you to put in the Moment lens inserts, which are definitely a pretty amazing thing for all of their lenses and their filters and other things like that. If you don't choose to go with one of these cases though, I can also show you a different product which will allow you to mount lenses to devices that don't support Moment cases, or if you just don't want to have a Moment case, you can still use their lenses, filters, etc. Using that product. So as I mentioned to you guys before, if you want to start using Moment lenses but maybe your phone doesn't support them, or you don't want to buy a case, you can also get this M series lens mount. So this is a simple piece of metal which allows you to attach any Moment lens to a device that doesn't support Moment lenses. You can attach this to an iPad, you can attach it to a computer, anything that you would like to use Moment lenses on. This will really help you out and adapt for those devices. So here is the main way that I mount filters to my iPhone. This is using the 67mm lens filter mount. This allows you to attach filters to your M series lenses to get that sort of stylized look or proper exposure, whatever exactly it is that you are wanting to get out of your photography or your videography. This will allow you to do that. You can basically screw on any lens that you want. As well, all of Moment's filters, with the exception of the variable NDs, have threads on both the outside so that we can screw it onto the adapter, as well as on the inside, so you can easily stack filters. Alright, so for those of you guys who have the iPhone 14 Pro or 14 Pro Max, this might be a pretty good option for you guys if you're only looking to start playing with filters on your iPhone. This will allow you to mount any 67mm filters by Moment, or really any company. I haven't tried them with other companies, but I believe that the screws are pretty much the same on everything. But I will show this off to you guys in some B-roll, how it works. You are going to need the Moment case as well as the Moment drop-in adapter for this, but As long as you have those two, this is a pretty nice and easy option for attaching large filters to your phone and getting that sort of stylized look. As well, like I said, with variable NDs, you can get proper motion blur and keep your images from being extremely overexposed in bright situations. Alright, so what you're going to get in the box when you buy the 67mm adapter for your iPhone from Moment is a nice little bag like this. Inside, you get your 67mm adapter. This is made out of aluminum. You're also going to get a total of 4 different rubber adapters. So you're going to get 2 which are pretty large. These are going to be for your 18mm as well as your 60mm. You're also going to get a rectangular one. This is going to be for the anamorphic lenses. And then you're going to get a smaller one. This is going to be for using on a 60mm or any of the other sort of smaller circular ones. The way that this works is very simple. All you do is you take your adapter like this, and then we'll do for the anamorphic, you just take the thicker part and you want to have that facing the outside and the little track area facing on the inside, and then you just push this on and it just snaps on like that. Then all you need to do is take your lens and then just press it through this little area here. It will be held in place by friction and you will have a very secure fit. Then all you have to do is just screw on any of the filters that you would like to use, and that's it. Alright, so next up we have the Moment lens clip adapter. This is for those devices that don't have a Moment case or anything that you would like to use with Moment lenses that doesn't currently have a case. So inside of here you get a bunch of different accessories. So you get an extra plate. This is for adapting to phones that have the camera sort of centered rather than more at the top. So all you would have to do with this is to pull out this piece here and then pop this new piece on. And so as you can see now it sits down a little bit lower. You don't really need to use this with those phones, but it does help to kind of give you a smaller range to work with rather than having such a large range. So the other thing that you can do with this is if you are using a laptop, all you have to do is pop out this little rubber piece here and then stick on the thicker rubber piece. This allows it to make contact with the back of your laptop a little bit faster, and so that way you can get make contact quicker with such a thin device as a laptop. So again, you would just center up your camera and use this back screw to tighten up against your laptop screen. And it should be noted as well, everything here is coated in, everything here is covered in nice soft rubberized material, so it's not going to harm any of your devices. Even though the frame is aluminum, everything that is actually going to be making contact with your devices is soft. So again, you don't have to really worry about ruining any of your devices with this. An iPad Pro, so basically you can take it from either the top or the side edge, you just want to make sure that your screw is loosened enough. And we'll go in from the side edge. So you just want to line up your camera as best as possible in the center, and then start to tighten down. All right, and so now you see that we have our adapter mounted on the iPad of our lenses. So this is the 18mm wide. Right, and so now we have the wide angle lens mounted on the iPad. And as you can see here, we have perfect clarity looking through the iPad. So here they have a deal on the Moment Anamorphic Lens Blue Flare. I have this in the studio, so I will cut to some B-roll showing what that does. But basically, this allows you to get that really nice cinematic widescreen picture straight out of your camera. All you have to do is just a little bit of de-squeezing, either in post or using the Moment Pro camera app. And right now it's on sale for $99.99, so that's a pretty good deal for you guys. All right, so another thing that you guys can pick up, if you don't like the blue lens flares, you can also get the gold lens flares in the anamorphic. This is also on sale. It's a little bit more expensive than the blue variety, but if you want more warm tones, less noticeable lens flares, you may want to go with this. Here we have the Moment Tele lens. This is a 58mm lens, which will give you 2x optical zoom. So these lenses are really nice. I don't actually have one in the studio right now, but these basically allow you to punch in 2x on your main camera, or if you're using something like an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which has a 3x optical zoom, you can get up to 6x optical zoom with this, which is really nice. Additionally, the glass on all of Moment's lenses are very clear and will allow you to get really good picture quality. I have the 60mm, so I'll cut to some B-roll of that, but do keep in mind that the 58mm will be clearer. And here we have the Moment Wide 18mm lens. This is a lens that I do have with me in the studio. This is able to give you a pretty wide field of view. The only thing to note about this is that with some of the newer phones like the iPhone 14 Pro Max in particular, you can see a little bit of vignetting on the sides with this lens in particular. Mainly I see this if I'm using more than 1 or 2 filters, but that's just something to be aware of. If you do want to use this on the telephoto lens though, there's going to be no trouble for you at all. Here we have the Moment 10x macro lens. This is probably my favorite or second favorite lens that Moment makes. I do have this in the studio, and I'll put up some sample pictures and video for you guys of things that I've shot with this. Pretty amazing what you can get out of this lens with your 3x optical zoom on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So that will give you a total of 30x magnification, so you can really get in close and see a lot of detail. So they also have the 14mm fisheye on sale. This lens I don't have in the studio, but this will give you that standard GoPro type of look, very wide field of view. From what I've heard, this lens is pretty great. I just don't do a lot of action filming, so I didn't feel like I really needed to pick this up. But if you guys are into that stuff, this is definitely a good option for you. Right, so these are what all of the lenses are going to look like when you get them. So here we have the 18mm wide. These also do come in pouches, just like all of the other Moment products. I just don't have them with me right now. And they come with these little caps here. If you do want to protect the back though, you're going to need to buy this separately. So I will leave links to these in the description. I really like these and highly recommend you use them because it'll keep dust and debris from getting into the back, which is really hard to clean. But basically, this is what our 18mm wide looks like. Then we have the 10x macro. This one is, like I said, one of my favorites. The cap can be a little bit hard to get off just because it's so small, but here's what the macro lens looks like. This also comes with a nice light diffuser, so that way if you're looking up really close on something, you can shine a light and it'll make the light very soft around it, so that way you get even lighting. This is the blue flare anamorphic. So as you can see, if we catch the light a little bit, you see nice flares appearing. Another thing to note about the blue flare anamorphic is that the bag that it comes in actually has a little Allen key tool. So if you do decide to get this for your iPhone 14 Pro Max or any other modern iPhone, you're going to want to unscrew this little screw here with that tool and basically turn it 90 degrees. It will start off tilted the wrong way, so that way it squeezes like this rather than the way that it's supposed to, which is like this. So basically, once you do it one time, you won't have to do it again, but they kindly include a little caret marker here so that way you know exactly where to line everything up with. And then the last lens that I have here is an old one that they don't actually sell anymore. This is the 60mm telephoto. I showed earlier the 58mm, which is the newer lens, and I've heard that it's much better than this one. So if you guys are looking for a telephoto lens, definitely get the 58mm. The 60mm, like I said, is a little bit lower quality. The glass is unfortunately not as clear. Now here we're taking a look at the iPhone and just doing a simple attachment of one of the Moment lenses. So as you can see, this is the 14 Pro Max. The bottom camera is the main wide angle, and the top camera is the 3x telephoto. All you need to do is just take your Moment lens, and you'll see that there are two tabs, one on the top and one on the bottom. You just want to make sure that you align those with the holes on the snap-on lens mount. And then just put it on the camera that you like. And once it's in there, nice and good, all you need to do is just give it a 90-degree turn and it will be locked in place. So now you can see that the lens has been mounted. Then you could just pull off the dust cover and enjoy your lens. Additionally, you can take your 67mm filter adapter for the lenses and attach that as well. So I'm going to be showing that right here. So here we have the plain lens ring, and then we're just going to put on the correct size for the 60mm telephoto lens. And all you need to do is just press it a little bit firmly. You'll feel it lock into place, and then you just want to make sure that it doesn't go in too far, because you don't want to scratch the inside of your filters when you apply them. So here for our filter, we're just going to be using the 10% Cinebloom, and you just want to get it threaded, and you can screw it right on. Like I said, you can also mount multiple lenses, so if you want to mount multiple filters, you have the freedom to do that. moving right along, they also have sales on their Cinebloom diffusion filters. These are really nice because they will soften up the images that you guys take. So if you're taking video, you'll get a nice smooth look for any of your subjects. As well, it'll bring down a lot of harsh lighting. So that's another really good benefit to these filters. You can get these in a variety of sizes. If you are going to be doing phone photography with an iPhone, you're going to want to go with the 67mm size. And they also have different strengths. So I have the 5% and the 10%. The 5% is very, very subtle. So if you don't want to have a whole ton of bloom, go for the 5%. The 10% is a little bit stronger, a little bit more stylized, and then the 20% is very stylized. So you definitely want to have a reason to buy the 20%, but I think the 5 or 10% are pretty good for any type of shooting. They just kind of add a little bit of style. If you're into that vintage look, this will give that to you. So another piece of gear that I really like are Moment's variable ND filters. These allow you to get the proper exposure in your images, especially if you're taking video on an iPhone or something like that. These are going to be really crucial for you because the iPhone has a fixed aperture and it's pretty wide open. So you're going to be letting a lot of light in regardless of time of day. So these will allow you to bring down the amount of light entering your sensor and allow you to get that cinematic motion blur that everybody really wants in their videos. So definitely consider picking up some variable ND filters. Moment sell these in 2 varieties. So you have one that has 2 to 5 stop. For those of you who are familiar with the ND system, it's ND4 to ND32. We also sell them in the 6 to 9 variety. So again, on the ND scale, that's going to be ND64 to ND512. Again, as with the Cinebloom diffusion filters, if you want to pick these guys up for your iPhone, make sure that you get the 67mm variant, as these will thread on to the mounts that Moment sells. Alright, so here is another filter that I have in the studio, which I'll show you some B-roll of. This is the Moment Cineflare. These are streak filters, so they kind of give you that anamorphic look without being actual anamorphic lenses. So these aren't going to give you a widescreen picture or anything like that, but they will give you lens flares whenever they come into contact with light. That's very harsh. So this is going to be giving you that anamorphic look without the anamorphic price tag. And again, if you're going to want to use this for iPhone, you want to get the 67mm size. So the last one that I wanted to show you guys is the anti-glare CPL filters. So CPL stands for circular polarized light. And basically this allows you to cut down on reflections, whether it be water, glass, or anything else. This also helps to improve contrast in your pictures. So this can be really useful if you're shooting a lot of photography near water and you want to see through the water, as well if you're taking food photography and you want to be able to see through a glass surface or something like that to see the food and increase contrast with your pictures. This is exactly the type of filter that you would want to get. Again, as with everything, if you want to buy this for your iPhone, make sure that you get the 67mm size. Alright, so the next product category from Moment that I wanted to talk about is filters. So as you can see here, I have quite a few, so we're going to go through one by one. Moment does sell these 37mm filter adapters. I think they've kind of stopped selling 37mm filters, but they do sell the adapter still, so if you do want to pick this up, I will leave a link for it in the description. This is nice because you can just mount it directly onto your iPhone with a Moment case and just add on a filter. This will be for only one camera though, so basically you just mount it onto either the main lens or the telephoto lens and then you can get that proper exposure with an ND filter, or reduce reflections or something like that with a CPL. And these just simply screw on. You can stack them. So here I have a pair of ND filters stacked, so that's kind of what it will look like. So the next thing is this right here, which is a UV filter. This snaps on to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Something to note about this is that currently I have the... So something to note about this is that I currently have the 3D printed version of the Moment lens adapter for iPhone 14 Pro Max. I reached out to them and they said that there's a little bit of variety in the 3D printing process because it's not as precise as injection molding. And so I actually had to modify my 3D printed insert a little bit in order to make this mount properly. They did assure me though that once the injection molded ones are in stock, that they'll send one over to me. So if you have any similar experiences, definitely reach out to them. They're really willing to help you out. And in this case, they're going to actually give me a replacement product that will work a little bit better with this. Alright, so the next ones that I wanted to show off were the two ND filters. So this is the 2 to 5 stop, and this is the 6 to 9 stop. So these accomplish basically the same thing. It's just that one is for less harsh lighting and the other one is for more harsh lighting. As well, you can use the 6 to 9 for long exposure photography, which is really crucial, especially during the day. But as you can see here, what's nice about these is that as we turn the dial, you see it gets darker and darker. So this allows us to get our proper shutter speed, which should always be about 2 times the frame rate of your video. So right now I'm shooting at 24 FPS. So since I'm shooting at 24 FPS, my shutter speed is 1/48 or 1/50, depending on what your camera can do. So looking at the 6 to 9, there's not really much of a difference here. One thing to note is that these are fairly reflective filters, so if that bothers you, you may want to pick up a filter from a different manufacturer. But again, as with the other one, these do not stack. You can stack them on top of other filters, but you can't stack any filters on top of these because they're not threaded on the top. So the next one that we have here is the 10% Cinebloom. So this is a diffusion filter. These are nice for when you want to get very smooth looking lighting, or you want to get sort of a vintage stylized feel. So again, this is not exactly, how it would look if you had it mounted, but it does soften up the light a little bit. And these, as with the other regular Moment filters, these are stackable, so they do have threads on the inside of the ring as well as the threads on the outside to mount it. Next one is a CPL filter, so this is for reducing reflections. So here we have the CPL, and this has a rotating bezel, so you can increase or decrease the amount of polarization depending on what your needs are. The other thing that's nice is that these filters do actually have threaded inserts here. So if you do want to stack multiple filters, even though the bezel does rotate, you can still do that with this. So that's a really nice feature of Moment's CPL filter. And then the last one that I wanted to show off is the Cineflare Gold. So as you can see here, there's a bit of gold reflection going on. The bezel rotates on this, so you can select what angle you want your lens flares to be at. And as with the CPL, it is threaded on both the rotating bezel as well as the filter itself, so that we can mount it and then you can stack lenses on top of this. So again, you don't have to compromise with not having a ND filter or something like that. Alright, so here I wanted to show you guys the Moment Cineclear UV filter. This is a snap-on filter for the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Basically, all that this is a little aluminum ring with a little bit of branding there. On the left side, it has a little tab in there, so that way you can mount it on either way, left or right, and get it to snap on really nice and simple, and then pull it off. Right here I have the little tab on the left side. I think it's a little easier to get it off that way, but you could mount it upside down as well. But this is what it looks like when it is on the iPhone. It just really helps to keep the lenses clean and free of dust. So that way when you're ready for your next shoot, all you need to do is just remove the filter and then put on your lenses. Alright, so here is the Moment tripod mount for MagSafe. This is something that I picked up pretty recently. It's now on sale for $55.99, so if you guys are looking to get something like this for a simple tripod setup, I would definitely recommend it. It's very easy to use. You just pop your phone on using MagSafe. Additionally, this is made out of aluminum. As with anything Moment, these are very high quality products that will last a long time as long as you take care of them. Right, so this is the Moment tripod MagSafe mount. Like I said, this device has a cold shoe mount. This is the portrait and landscape version. They do have one that's just for landscape. So if you don't care about shooting portrait video at all, or you want a shorter size, because this is a little bit longer, you can go for that one, but I went for this one so that way I can get a little bit of extra height on my tripod. Like I said, this is portrait or landscape, so you can loosen up this thumb screw and then turn the cold shoe mount to either side and tighten it up. And then you can mount your phone vertically, or the way that I generally do, which is horizontal. And this can be paired with any tripod that you would like. So here I have the Manfrotto Pixie, and all you have to do is just screw it in like this. And now you can adjust it however it is that you like. So I'll show you guys in some B-roll what this looks like with the iPhone attached. Next up, I wanted to show you guys this. I don't have one of these in the studio. I only have the DJI version, which is the Osmo Mobile 6. But if you guys do want to pick up this Zhiyun Smooth 5 smartphone gimbal, I've heard that this one is capable of holding more weight as well. You can do counterweights with this to a higher degree than you can with the Osmo Mobile 6, which is going to be critical if you're wanting to use this for smartphone photography with Moment's lenses and filters. it adds a ton of weight to your phone, and without proper counterbalancing, your motors are going to be working extremely hard to stabilize the phone. So this may be a pretty good option for you guys if you are looking to pick up some of these lenses or filters for your phone and you want to stick with a small compact gimbal. Later on in the video, I will talk about a gimbal that I've just recently started using from DJI, but we'll get to that later. Alright, so the next product I wanted to talk about, this is mainly going to be useful for any videographers or people wanting to start a YouTube channel. If you have any of those people on your list, definitely consider picking up one of these. This is the DJI mic. I'm currently using it, so it actually has the other receiver in here. But this allows you to record really high quality audio, either on the transmitters themselves or into the receiver, which you can put in either an iPhone, an Android phone with USB-C, an iPad, MacBook, any device that's USB-C or Lightning can use this. You can also use this with DSLRs. You just have to use a TRS cable, which is included. These come with windscreens, which are really nice, and yeah, these are USB-C rechargeable. They come in this nice charging case, which keeps them together as well as charged. They have 15.1 hours of recording for each receiver. They have 15.1 hours of recording for each transmitter, so that's really, really good. And additionally, if you want to pick this up, you can also get it in a bundle with the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. If you want to learn more about this, I will leave a card up here which shows you guys my full review of the DJI mic, but this is just a very quick overview. And as I had mentioned before, you can also get this in a bundle with the OM6. This is the vlog combo. So with this bundle, you'll get the DJI OM6 as well as a little tripod and your mount for your phone. I've also made another video on this where I unbox it, so I will leave a link to that in the card up here. But just so that way you guys get a sense of how to use the OM6, I will show you guys here. So you take the clip that's included. It has a little camera marker with an arrow. So you just want to make sure that the arrow is pointing at the camera. And then you just want to put this in the center of your phone and pull it from one side to the other. This will work with most cases, which is a good thing. Additionally, you want to make sure that you turn the pan motor from the locked position to the unlocked position. So this is locked, and then if we turn it the other way, you can see that it becomes unlocked. And then when you pull this up, it will automatically turn on and present itself, so that way you can mount your phone. So the phone magnetically attaches, it'll go through a simple self-calibration, and once it's done, you can just double press this button here, and that puts it into your landscape position so that we can start shooting videos. The other thing that's nice is that you can push the record button here, and that will record in the DJI Mimo app, as well as the iPhone camera app or the Moment Pro app. Basically any camera app it'll work for. Then up here we have the mode button. So right now we're in the all motors unlocked mode. You can turn it to pan mode. You can turn it to FPV mode, so you can get your sort of twisting shots. And then the last one, you have the spin mode. So this is for getting those cool circular type of shots. Finally, we have this wheel here on the left-hand side. This is really only a feature for the Mimo app, but basically you can go between zoom or manual focus mode, and it's really kind of cool to be able to do focus pulls. Additionally, there is a trigger on the back, so if you double press it, it'll automatically recenter your camera. And then if you press and hold it, it'll put it into the so-called chicken mode, which is basically a lock mode. So that way your phone just stays looking in the same direction the whole time. And then you also have the joystick, which can be used for mainly quick positioning. Alright, so this is the DJI RS3 Pro. This is what it comes in, this very nice carrying case. It's sort of a hard shell material. And if we undo the zippers, I should also mention that I got the Pro Combo. I don't have all of the pieces that it comes with in here right now, since I don't really need them for my purposes, but I will make a separate video kind of going over what each of them does. If you guys would like that, you can leave me a comment and I'll make a video like that. Inside here we have all of our attachments and other things like that, cables and so forth, but the main things that are in here are the handle, which is also the battery. So as you can see, you can check your battery level. It also comes with a very sturdy and high quality aluminum tripod. You also have the adapter, which will simply mount onto the metal plate, this mounting plate here. I have it fitted with a phone adapter from Ulanzi, since I do use my iPhone with this rather than DSLR camera. You also have a briefcase handle, which can be used for an additional second point of contact to increase stability, or if you're going to be doing a lot of low shooting photography or videography, this will help you out with that. In the other compartment here we have the Ronin RS3 Pro itself, which is made from carbon fiber. And it simply attaches to your handle by just snapping it on, and this latch goes from unlocked to locked when it's in place. All you need to do from here is take this little adapter here, feed it in, and then once the teeth start to grab, you can just use the little dial here, and this will do your adjustments, and then you can just lock it into place when you're satisfied. And then for the adapter, this would have your phone or your DSLR camera, and this just slides right in, and then there's a little latch on the back of the device which keeps it in place. Additionally, if you want to use the briefcase handle, all you have to do is loosen it up, and then you can mount it to either the left or the right side. There's these little mounting points right here, and now it's on there and ready for use. Alright, so here we're just going to be taking a quick look at what the Ronin looks like and how to mount an iPhone to it. So again, as I had mentioned before, this is a more professional device than something like the Osmo Mobile 6, but they both accomplish the same task. Like I said, this one is just a more powerful, more extreme version, if you want to call it that, of the Osmo Mobile 6. This can accommodate up to a 10-pound camera setup, a DSLR, so this is pretty heavy duty. But basically I have the iPhone in the mount that I had showed in the earlier clip, and again, this is by Ulanzi. It just mounts the iPhone directly to it. Very simple. And then to put it on, you just slide it in the track as such. And when you get it in there, you just want to make sure that you turn the lock to lock it in place so that way it doesn't fall out. And once it's turned on, it will automatically unlock all of the motors and rebalance the phone or the camera, whatever it is that you are using. The other thing that's nice about this is that it has a built-in 1.8-inch touchscreen, which you can use to manipulate all of the parameters. As well, if you have a compatible camera, you can control the camera using the buttons, and you can see a viewfinder of the camera in that little screen, which is really helpful. Alright, so here is what we have with the DJI Mini 3 Pro with the Fly More kit. So this year with the Mini 3 Pro, the way that the kit works is that you have to buy the Mini 3 Pro, and then you can also buy the kit as an expansion. You don't have the option of getting everything all bundled together the way that you used to. So that is kind of one unfortunate change, but it does allow you to, if you already have some of this stuff, you can just buy the drone all by itself. You can buy the drone with the RCN1 controller, which is the just standard one that you would use your cell phone with, or you can get it in the combo that I got. Or you can get it in the combo that I got, which is the Mini 3 Pro with the RC controller. And then the Fly More kit comes with 2 additional batteries, this charging device, this multi-charger, this carrying bag, as well as some extra propellers and tools and other things like that that you would need. So here's what it's going to look like if you're going to be taking this with you. You can take all of your propellers and things and put these in this top pouch. You can take your charging cables as well, and your tool for removing the propellers or putting new ones on. This has a little zipper on it, so it keeps everything together. Your Mini 3 Pro, do keep in mind that you don't get one of these propeller holders included. This was a purchase that I made separately, so I will leave the link to this down in the description. It's not necessary, but it's nice to kind of keep your propellers steady so that way they're not flopping around. So you can put your drone in here, and then you can put your controller and then the batteries. And you can zip it up and carry it with you. I will say that this bag is a little bit less nice than the one that came with the Mini 2 Pro. This bag is a little bit less nice than the one that came with the Mini 2 for the main reason that it feels like some of the things are a little bit more large and bulky, and so this bag doesn't have very much wiggle room. So if you are wanting to take extra filters or other things like that along, it will get pretty cramped in here. You can do it, but it's just a little bit less easy than it was with the Mini 2. So here I'll show you how I would take along some filter sets. So these are the Freewell anamorphic and wide lens with all of the ND filters. there's a little pouch right here in the front. You can just put this down in there. And then this is the Skyrete ND filter set. You can also take this, put this down in the front pouch, although it does, like I said, get very cramped. You can still zip it up and take it with you. It's just a little bit less user-friendly. Alright, so here is one of the best products that I've gotten for the DJI Mini 3 Pro. These are anamorphic and wide-angle lenses by Freewell. I'll throw some sample footage up right now so you guys can see what the anamorphic does. I haven't used the wide-angle since I kind of don't really care so much about wide-angle, especially using a drone, but the anamorphic is something that I really do like. It gives you a unique look that you're not going to see pretty much anywhere. It gives you that really nice cinematic look with the cinematic lens flares. As well, this allows you to attach ND filters, which is really important for getting proper exposure. And these are available on Amazon for $130. So here's another thing that I really like to use for my drone is a set of ND filters. This again allows you to get proper exposure, and it also gives you a CPL included, so that way you can remove reflections inside of your images. The unfortunate thing about this is that the CPL is not compatible with the ND filters, so you'll have to go somewhere else for like a CPL ND if you really want to get both the proper exposure and the polarizing features. But this is a good affordable option if you just want to get into drone photography and videography with a pretty low cost entry. These filters do a good job of cutting down light, and they don't really harm your image as far as the quality. So definitely if you're looking for a first set of ND filters, I would suggest these. They are at a very low price right now, so definitely pick them up if you're just getting into drone photography or drone videography. As well, if you know somebody who does drone photography or videography, this might be a good gift for them. So here's something that you guys may really enjoy as well, especially for your drone, is some of these micro SD cards. These are ones from Samsung. These are the fast variety, so they are the A2, V30 type micro SD cards. You can get the 512 one right now for $44.98, which is a really good deal, so I definitely suggest you pick some of these up, especially if you're thinking about filming a lot. I have a 128 gig in my drone, but maybe if you're going to be filming for longer periods of time and maybe you don't take your drone footage off right away, this will definitely help you out, so that way you can go to multiple shoots at once without having to worry about storage space. Alright, so last but not least, I want to show you guys some of the things that are happening on DJI's website for Black Friday. So if you are just starting out and you want to get into drone videography or photography for a pretty low cost, the DJI Mini 2 Fly More combo is on sale right now for $509. This is going to be a pretty decent deal. I really liked the Mini 2. It didn't have as many features as I would have liked though. The Mini 3 Pro, in my opinion, is a much better buy, although it is a fair bit more expensive. So, you know, it's kind of up to you, but just know that the Mini 2 Fly More combo you can get for $509 right now. It is under 249 grams, and so that means that in the US you don't have to register it in order to fly around. However, you do need to follow all of the safety protocols and other things like that that the FAA has in place. Additionally, if you guys are looking for an action camera, DJI's Action 2 is on sale right now for $359. This is a really good deal, 30% off. So if you guys are looking for a new action camera, I've heard really good things about this. I don't personally have one since I don't really do a ton of action stuff, but if that is you, you may want to pick this up again, or get it for somebody who really does like doing action photography or videography. I'm sure they'd love this. They also have the DJI FPV combo on sale for $8.99. Honestly, I'm not really the biggest fan of the DJI FPV. I think the Avata is a way better drone, but if you are in the market for one of these and you don't care that it's a pretty large drone and has exposed propellers and all of that stuff, and you're just wanting to have something fun to play around with, they do have this on sale for $100 off, so that's a pretty decent deal. Additionally, the DJI Mini 3 Pro is not currently on sale, but you do get a free bag with it. So if that interests you, definitely feel free to pick this up. I would definitely recommend getting it with the RC Pro combo. The RC is really good. It allows you to be free of your phone when you're flying, which is really important, so that way you can use your phone for other things. You don't have to worry about the battery life, you don't have to worry about incoming calls or texts or other things like that distracting you while you're flying. I think definitely the RC is the way to go. Unfortunately, it's not as full-featured as the full Pro controller, but it does a really good job and it's the right price, I think. So, alright, the last deal that they have on their website is the Osmo Action 3 Adventure Combo. So this will give you all of the things that you need to get started with the Osmo Action 3. As well, you get a free t-shirt with it. So again, if that interests you, feel free to take advantage of this deal. Alright, so if you're going to be getting moment lenses and filters and mounts and all of that stuff, you're definitely going to want to have something to store them in. So this right here is the weatherproof case from Moment. It's made of a really nice water-resistant material with water-resistant zippers. If we open it up, you have 3 slots for SD cards. You also have a little pouch up here, which I like to throw in a microfiber cleaning cloth, as well as my UV filter and a cleaning pen so I can brush off my lenses and keep them nice and clean for the next shoot. I also like to throw in both of my Moment filter mounts. So we have the lens adapter as well as the snap-on mount. And you can also throw in all of the additional rings for the lens mount and the diffusion cone for the macro. You can also store up to 4 of your Moment lenses in this bottom area, so I'll put the 60mm 10x macro, anamorphic, 18mm, and then I have enough room for 2 filters. So what I usually do is throw on the variable ND 2 to 5 stop as well as the 10% diffusion, and then you can just zip this right up. And carry all of your stuff in a nice contained package. Alright, so here is another thing that I really wanted to show you guys. This has been a lifesaver for doing long photo shoots or other things like that outside. Alright, so this right here is the Omni charge. This is what it looks like. It's very small, very lightweight. This is it compared to the DJI RC controller. As you can see, it's about the same dimensions, a little bit thinner. But All you have to do to use it is press and hold on this power button. It'll turn on. It defaults to having the USB ports active, but you can also turn on the AC outlet if you're wanting to use that. So right now, we'll just plug in this U-green multi-port charger to the AC wall outlet. And we'll plug in the USB cable to the battery pack for the Mini 3 Pro, and we'll plug in the RC controller to one of the battery outlets on the top. And then, like I said, for the AC outlet, all you have to do is press this button here, and that will activate it. And as you can see, our batteries are now starting to charge. All right, so as you can see here, with 90% battery remaining, we have about an hour and 8 minutes projected time. And we are discharging at 56.9 watts, 57 watts. The other thing that's nice about the Omni is that it will give you information on the temperature of the battery. It also has overtemp protection, so if you do end up with a situation where the battery starts getting too hot, this will actually shut down to keep itself safe. You also get a display here showing you what's in use, so you have the USB ports active, as well as the AC outlet active and the wireless charging pad active. Although these aren't really camera equipment, these can be used in conjunction with something like a DJI mic to allow you to get really crystal clear monitoring of your audio while you're recording. I did use these one time in one of my shoots, and they provide you with very high quality, balanced audio and very little leak through from the outside. So you can really focus on what it is that you're recording. So definitely, if you're looking for some sort of monitoring device, I think the Shure SE215s are a great choice. They come in a variety of colors. I got them in purple, but you can get them in whatever you would like. Alright, so hopefully this video helped you guys out with your holiday shopping, whether it's for you or for somebody else. If they're interested in photography, videography, drone cameras, regular cameras, phone cameras, anything like that, I hope that this was a good video showing you guys what's out there, what's available, and the kind of deals that you can get right now. So happy shopping. Definitely feel free to leave a comment down below, leave a like, and as with everything in this video, again, you can find links to it down in the description below. And if you do purchase using those links, it does help the channel out a little bit, so feel free to do that. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in another